Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Cluiche with me, Seamus Brady, and in this video I'm going to give my full preview and prediction for who I think is going to win the All-Ireland football quarter between Kerry and Tyrone. It's going to be played on Saturday at 3:45 p.m. and I mean, this game needs no hype. This game needs no more build-up in terms of hype. I mean, the rivalry between these two speaks for itself. They have been neck and neck in terms of competitiveness between the two teams. I can't get my words together, but this game is going to be a cracker. They have met 8 times in the championship. Kerry have won 4, Tyrone have won 4. Kerry won in 1986, then Tyrone came back with 3 wins in a row from 2003, 2005, and 2008. Kerry responded to this with 3 wins of their own in a row, 2012, 2015, and 2019. And then Tyrone came back to win the most recent one after extra time in the All-Ireland football semi-final of 2021, going on to, of course, win that year's All-Ireland title. Now, every one of the games that I said there, apart from their meeting in 2012, has been either an All-Ireland semi-final or an All-Ireland final. So whenever these two meet, it usually means business. And this time is their first ever time meeting in an All-Ireland quarter final. So I can't wait to see what this one brings, because I do genuinely believe that whoever wins this game is going to power on to be serious All-Ireland contenders. Tyrone are the type of team that over the years, they've crawled through the provincial or the qualifiers or whatever route it's taken them to get to the final 8. But when they get to the quarterfinals, suddenly they're a completely different team. My favorite example of this is 2008. They got knocked out of the Ulster Championship by Down after a replay, crawled through the qualifiers. Nobody expected much. They draw Dublin, the Leinster champions of that year, in the All-Ireland quarterfinals. They get them on a wet night in Croke Park and they smoke them. Goals from Sean Kavanagh, Joe McMahon, Davy Hart, buried Dublin. They absolutely destroyed us. I think it was 3-14 to 1-8. It finished. Like, Tyrone were just so much better, powered on to beat Wexford in that year's semi-final and beat Kerry in the final. 2021 as well, snuck through the Ulster Championship, which was hugely competitive. Everyone's talking about Dublin and Kerry on the other side of the draw. Tyrone beat Kerry in extra time and beat Mayo in the final that year as well. When they get here, they are a match for anybody. Kerry, on the other hand, All-Ireland champions, but questions about their form this year. They've had 2 huge victories in terms of score difference over Louth and Clare, where they really put them to the sword. I think like the Louth game was 4-20 to 4 points at one stage. They absolutely slaughtered Louth. Clare as well, putting 5 goals past them. So they have shown this year their ability to blow teams away, which is still as strong as ever. But more and more questions have started to form on how reliant they are on David Clifford. Can they do it without him? And the truth is, in 2021, David Clifford went off injured against Tyrone. And Kerry brought back on Paul Gainey because they didn't have anybody that they wanted to bring off the bench to replace David Clifford that had not already played some part in the game. So for Kerry, are they a little bit reliant on David Clifford? Yes, they are. Like, they have, but how could you not be reliant on a footballer who's that good? Now, Sean O'Shea scored 1-8 against Louth there in that last round of the group stage. Serious signs that maybe he's back to his best. Sean O'Shea as well came to life in the semi-finals stage last year. He scored the early goal against Dublin. He swung over the last minute free to get them into the All-Ireland final. So who's to say that Sean O'Shea doesn't just turn up and dominate this game either? Like, he could absolutely come to life, because as I said with Tyrone getting to this stage and them coming to life, that's also what happens with the good players. Paudie Clifford, Paul Gainey, Sean O'Shea, these guys could all just turn up and take centre stage, especially with Tyrone putting so much of their energy and focus on David Clifford. Now, I still think David Clifford is primed and ready to take on this Tyrone team. He scored at will throughout the championship, and him going off in the semi-final in 2021 was a big reason, in my opinion, as to why Tyrone won that game. Now, the other huge reason as to why Tyrone won that game is Kerry's defence. And this is another crucial point. Tyrone ran down the centre of Kerry's defence for pretty much all of their goals in the All-Ireland semi-final 2 years ago. Now, last year, Kerry brought in their new management team. Paddy Tally was in the backroom team with Jack O'Connor. They tightened up their defence. Tyg Morley was put centre-back as an out-and-out, sitting, holding defender. Jason Foley improved his form. They all tightened up at the back, and their defensive system was the missing piece, and they won the All-Ireland title. Now, they didn't play Tyrone last year. And since then, I think their defence has looked way more vulnerable than it did this time last year. You look at the goal chances that they coughed up to Mayo almost at will. James Carr got them. Matthew Ruan got them. I feel that they are there to be scored goals against. Like, they are there for the taking in terms of at the back. Can Tyrone put them to the sword the way that they did in 2021? Because the question is, and again, Tyrone's goalkeeper is the same. Their defense is exactly the same. Their midfield pairing, which I think is actually the best in the country, is exactly the same. Their forwards. Are their forwards better? Because I was on with Aaron Prendergast, the man behind Gaelic Games Fan TV. Big shout out to him. We were talking about this game. I threw it back to him. I said, do you think Tyrone's forward line is better now than it was back then? And he was saying no, because back then they had Kieran McGeary in Player of the Year form. They had Cathal McShane coming off the bench. They had the likes of Conor McKenna. They had so much more competition in the forward line. And while Derek Canavan is in the form of his life, Darren McCurry is in top form as well. In terms of competition, they don't necessarily have the same level of fighting for places that they would have had in 2021. Now, the midfield battle, again, crucial. I think Tyrone have this on lock if they want to. Con Kilpatrick, Brian Kennedy. I think they are as good a midfield pairing as you're ever going to get. Kerry need to go toe-to-toe with them here. They don't have David Moran to go toe-to-toe with a Con Kilpatrick. They will miss him in this game, in my opinion. I think Tyrone could actually get this game. So this is my official prediction on what I think is going to happen. Who do I think is going to win this one? Tyrone. I think Tyrone are going to win. I think Tyrone are going to use the midfield that they have to establish a centre of dominance in this game. I think Hampsey's going to go on to David Clifford. Now, I don't think he's going to stop David Clifford, but I think he will manage to quell his influence to some level. Up in the forwards, they have the likes of Derek Canavan, Darren McCurry to be able to put Kerry to the sword at the back. Kerry's defence is more open than it was this time last year. And the last time Kerry's defence was open, we saw what Tyrone did. 3 goals. Conor McKenna looked like he could score goals on them at will. So I am going to say Tyrone take this game by the narrowest of margins. 1.2 points. I wouldn't be surprised if Kerry win it, but if you pushed me on it, Tyrone always get more confident when they get to Croke Park to the final 8 and the finish line in the All-Ireland Championship is inside. They're there now, so I expect them to turn up 10 out of 10. Kerry, they've won the All-Ireland, so in my opinion, I don't see that same hunger. They don't see the same tightness at the back that they had this time last year, and I think Tyrone are going to overturn them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win? It's open to debate. I wouldn't be surprised if either team takes it. They're both world-class teams. I can't wait to see what happens. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this one. And until the next one, guys, take care.